It is official. For the second time, Jon Jones, Stipe Miocic, the champion at heavyweight, do with that statement what you will, and the former longtime champion, Stipe Miocic, currently number 8 in the division. I'm excited, but I wish I was more excited. Jon Jones will return for the first time since March of 2023 and just the second time since February of 2020. He will look to defend his heavyweight championship of the world for the first time against the former two-time champion and longest reigning heavyweight champion in terms of title defenses in history, Stipe Miocic. Stipe has not won a fight since August of 2020 and has not competed in a fight since March of 2021 when he lost the title to Francis Ngannou. Francis, we know, went on to defend his title once against Cyril Gane, then left in free agency to join the PFL, has boxed twice against Joshua and Tyson Fury, excuse me. Sorry, I'm not the boxing connoisseur. I was getting all their names mixed up. But that is what we've seen from Stipe. And by what we've seen, not much, right? We've not seen him in a very, very long time. And for Jon, we haven't seen him in a long time either. Pair that with a nasty pectoral injury that he's going to be coming off of. Listen, I'd be stunned if Stipe somehow finds a way to win this, but being that you see him on my wall in the background on the poster, I would be absolutely going nuts if he did find a way to upset Jon Jones, the greatest fighter of all time. But this is the headliner of UFC 309, November 16th, Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. I feel like after this weekend, the Sphere is going to come for that title sooner rather than later, but I digress. It's happening. It should feel a lot bigger than it does. I'm sad that it doesn't feel bigger to me as a fan, but I just can't help it. It would have been great 2 years ago to happen, but right now it's cool. I'll be excited when November comes along. But when you have someone like Tom Aspinall that is being super active, that is literally not only winning an interim title, but defending an interim title, it just seems so unnecessary that we're getting this fight, especially when more than likely, not 100%, but more than likely, both of these fighters, Stipe and Jon, will retire at the end of this fight. Definitely Stipe, win or lose, I think, is going to retire. And Jon,
Is your retirement fight in November? Or no, you got more.
It's gonna be the last time.
It's gonna be the last time.
It's gonna be the last
Hey, you're a
time.
legend. Hey, thank you.
More than likely.
It was an honor. You're like,
Oh, my pleasure. Yes.
he's kind of just not shown interest in fighting young up and comers in this heavyweight division, and that unfortunately includes Tom Aspinall. So it sucks that I'm not as excited as I should be for what on paper is a legendary fight. I mean, you want to talk about legacies? Jon Jones, the greatest fighter of all time, Stipe Miocic, the greatest heavyweight of all time. They're coming together to fight for the title. Jon can literally say he's the best heavyweight of all time in just his second heavyweight fight if he beats Stipe. I'm not saying that's accurate, but he could literally make that claim. And Stipe, if he beats Jon Jones, holy moly, what a catapult into the pound for pound all time discussion that Stipe could leap into. But I hope I get more excited come November. Unfortunately, that's all I could present to you today. The co-main event, well, sure didn't see this one coming. Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler. Oh no, that's not happening. I was just prefacing what I was about to say. Conor McGregor will not be fighting Michael Chandler, at least in Michael Chandler's next fight. Now, will he still fight Michael Chandler in what will be Conor McGregor's return? Maybe. Maybe Conor will. But Michael Chandler said, nah, I'm not waiting anymore. I can't sit on the couch any longer. This will be 2 years since we've last seen Michael Chandler compete. And who is he signed to fight in a 5-round co-main event lightweight division matchup? A rematch with DuBronc's former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira. Wow. Oliveira coming off of a loss to Arman Tsarukyan. Michael Chandler coming off of a loss to Dustin Poirier. They're going at one another here. A rematch in the lightweight division. Number 2, Oliveira. Number 6, Michael Chandler. Chandler said this is a number 1 contender fight. Maybe. Maybe it is. We know Arman is going to be next for Islam, probably, beginning of 2025, maybe the very, very end of 2024. I haven't quite heard. But this is not what I saw coming. But I'm also not surprised because I'm just not convinced we're ever going to see Conor McGregor fight again. Dana is staying adamant that 2025, early 2025, we will see McGregor return. Conor seems very frustrated, very annoyed. He actually had a bare knuckle post-fight press conference this past weekend where it was kind of the most put together version of Conor we've seen in a long time. Not getting into the outside of the cage antics. I'm just going to keep it that way. Where he really stressed quite poetically, quite well spokenly, how he is just frustrated. He's annoyed. He's ready for a date in the UFC, just won't quite give him that. A lot of people are saying the UFC is maybe holding out as long as they can with Conor because of TV negotiation deals that are coming up in 2025 with the expiration of the ESPN Plus deal. I'll leave that to the people on the inside of all the business, but it does make sense if that is the case. I just, at the end of the day, Michael Chandler didn't waste 2 years of his career, but he's not getting any younger. He's going to be what? Is he going to be 38 by the time this fight happens? Come November, yeah, Michael Chandler turned 38 in April. So he's going to be 38 and a half when he steps in here to face Oliveira in the rematch. But Conor McGregor talk aside, this fight right here, we know it's going to deliver because we've already seen it deliver once before. We also will see the return of Bo Nickel looking to continue his undefeated record, and he's doing that by taking on his biggest test to date, Paul Craig, just on the outside looking in of the top 15 of the middleweight division, and a former top 10, longtime top 10 light heavyweight Paul Craig, someone who is very dangerous on the ground with his submissions and jiu-jitsu skills. A different type of matchup here for Bo Nickel, one that I still believe he can pass with flying colors. If he does beat Paul Craig here, he will absolutely get a ranked opponent next. He's 6-0, 6 finishes, 28 years old, 3-0 in the UFC. Big step up here against the Bear Jew Paul Craig. But again, if Bo gets it done, the next step will be a ranked fighter. We also have the number 11 ranked flyweight Karine Silva taking on the number 9 ranked Viviane Araújo. We have 2 top 15 light heavyweights, Dominic Reyes and Anthony Smith, taking on each other. Chris Weidman's fighting Eric Anders. 2 more ranked light heavyweights, Nikita Krylov and Azamat Murzakanov. Jonathan Martinez, Marcus McGee. I already talked about that one last week. Ooh, it's Madison Square Garden. Now, I will say it feels like maybe something's missing on that main card, but maybe that's because of my lack of excitement for that main event. Again, I hate to be a Debbie Downer. I wish I was more excited, guys. Trust me. But that is what we got. UFC 309 is official.